I often encounter people who are trying desperately to control the 3D. And I'm not judging because I've been there. I think, in fact, most of us go through this when we first learn about manifestation. We are very much outcome driven. We judge ourselves in manifestation according to the results. So we are either successful or failure, or manifestation is real or not real according to what we get. The problem is that in the beginning, things seem a little bit random, because when we add resistance to the mix, it feels like a struggle, and sometimes we don't get what we want, and sometimes we go through a full-on war with ourselves. And all of this is because we are trying to control the wrong thing, and that's what we are talking about today. But before I get into it, hello everyone, my name is Al. If you're new here, welcome to my channel, and if you're in need of coaching, coaching is open again. All the detail you're going to find in the description box. But let's talk about today's topic. Our need to control the 3D comes from lack and fear. It may be a try to regain some order or balance in our lives. However, by doing so, we are not living in the state of the wish fulfilled. We are living in a state of fear, fear of not getting what we want. And we manifest what we are, so you can imagine the kind of things that can be created from that state of fear. When Neville was drafted in the army, he imagined himself being back in New York, in his apartment, with his family. And after imagining it, his request to be discharged was denied. Neville went to the end, okay? Neville imagined he already was the one that he wanted to be. And when that rejection came back, he did not react emotionally. He did not blame anyone or the 3D. He did not say, oh, manifestation doesn't work. Or he did not write a letter to Abdullah telling him, sometimes things are just not meant to be. Or, you know what, I never get what I want. And why is the 3D doing this to me or whatever? That was not what he did. Because he was not trying to control the 3D. He was not trying to manifest a way out of the army. He was manifesting a different self. He was manifesting a different feeling for himself. He wanted to feel, to identify with, to connect with a version of him who was far away, back in New York, with his family. He wanted to be free. So he did not focus on what was, he went beyond the 3D. Neville used his imagination to rearrange the structures of his mind, to feel as a different version of him. He wanted to disconnect or detach from the version of him who was in the army preparing for World War II. Instead, he wanted to feel as the version of him who was in his home, in his apartment, with his wife and his baby, and going through the normal day-to-day life. And he did not care what people thought about it. He did not care if people thought that he was a coward because he wanted to leave the army. No. He went to the end, and his end was, I am in New York with my family, having a normal life. You can only change the 3D when you change the structures of your mind, when you change yourself, because the self is the one being expressed in the 3D. And when you try to control the 3D reality, how can you not react when something doesn't go your way? So if you're in a situation that could lead you to where you want to be, how can you be balanced and centered when there is so much at stake? You are going to feel like you failed, like you were defeated, or you know, like things are not going your way, because you are making this mean that you are trying to control what you have no control of. However, when you let go of trying to control the outer world and you do exactly what Neville did, which was to control the self, you know, who he was identifying as. When you do that, you overcome the whole idea of the 3D completely. There is no reason for you to judge the 3D, because your goal is to change how you are feeling about yourself, how you are seeing yourself. Your goal is to change your feeling of self. And when you achieve that, when you feel like a different version of yourself, then you're free. And that's the moment where everything changes for you. As a result of that, your physical reality is going to surrender to your inner world. After 9 days of imagining, he already was the man who was in New York, in his apartment, going through the rooms in the night where his family was sleeping, his wife and his baby girl. Neville got honorably discharged from the army. Okay? He changed everything in his reality by changing who he was identifying with, how he was feeling, and you can do the same. So find a way to be okay right now. Control the self and let the 3D run its course. And you can't imagine how fast things are going to change for you. That's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you like this video, give me a like, subscribe to my channel. We are going to talk soon. Bye, guys.